Hey, what if democracy's taking a global nosedive? And 2024 was the shove. It's March 25th, 2025, and last year, over 1.6 billion people voted in what folks called the biggest election year ever. But instead of a democracy party, it looks more like a wake. Incumbents got smoked, left, right, doesn't matter, and the numbers are grim. Welcome to Tinderbox Talks, where we dig into the sparks shaking up the world. Today, is democracy really fading after 2024? Why'd voters ditch the folks in charge? And where's this all heading? Grab a coffee. Let's unpack this mess. So, 2024 was wild. Over 70 countries hit the polls, half the planet's population voting. They billed it a, quote, super year for democracy. But it didn't feel super for the people running the show. Picture this. 1.6 billion voters, fed up, kicking out governments like it's spring cleaning. The US? Trump's back, Harris out. UK? Conservatives tanked after 14 years. Japan? South Africa? Botswana? Big dogs lost their grip. Why? Well, folks are pissed. Prices are nuts. Trust's in the gutter, and democracy's looking more like a punching bag than a champ. Is this just a bad year, or are we watching something bigger unravel? Let's rewind a bit, set the scene. Democracy's been wobbling for a while. Freedom House says it's been sliding for 19 years straight. 2024 just kept the streak alive. Their Freedom Index? Down again. 60 countries got worse, only 34 got better, and over 40% of us are under authoritarian thumbs now. Then there's the Democracy Index from the Economist folks, dropped to 5.17 out of 10, lowest ever. That's not just stats, that's a vibe. People are voting, sure, but they're not buying what's on offer, especially from the ones already in charge. So what's fueling this dumpster fire? First up, the economy's a beast. Post-COVID, prices shot up. Groceries, gas, rent, and wallets didn't keep pace. In 44 countries, inflation doubled or quadrupled from 2020 to 22 per pew. By 2024, folks were still feeling it. India's Modi lost his majority over jobs. Japan's LDP got whacked for stagnant wages. It's not rocket science. When life's pricier and you're not richer, you blame the boss. Add in a global vibe of, things suck. Pew's survey in 34 countries showed most people rating their economies as trash. Voters didn't just grumble, they swung the axe. But it's not just cash. Trust crumbling too. Think about it. Governments fumbled COVID, then the economy, and now folks are like, what's the point? The Democracy Index says functioning of government, tanked, gridlock, corruption, no accountability. In the US, 70% of people were mad at the country's direction. Exit polls don't lie. South Korea? President Yoon tried martial law. Yep, martial law. Then got slapped down by parliament. Everywhere, it's the same. People feel unheard, and they're done with the usual suspects. Incumbents took the hit. 75% of Western democracies booted them since 2020, says Harvard's Levitsky. Now, here's the kicker. Elections themselves are getting messy. 2024 was huge, 1.65 billion ballots, but free and fair took a beating. Pakistan? Violence, their top guy jailed. Russia? Putin's election was a sham, scored a 2 out of 10. Romania scrapped a vote over Russian meddling. The Global State of Democracy report says 2023 was the worst for clean elections in 50 years. 2024 didn't fix that. Disinfo's everywhere. AI's mucking up campaigns, and foreign hands are stirring the pot. Nearly 20% of elections since 2020 had losers crying foul, courts deciding more than voters. That's not a flex. That's a crack. So who's hurting? Everyone, kinda, but some spots sting more. Africa's a mixed bag. Botswana flipped after 58 years. Senegal fought off a power grab. But coups in Burkina Faso and Mali tanked hope. Asia's wobbly. India's still a democracy but sliding. South Korea's a roller coaster. Europe's got cracks. Hungary's Orban, Poland's old regime, though Moldova and Latvia bucked the trend. The Americas? Brazil held on, but the US is a flawed democracy now. Trump's win didn't fix that vibe. Point is, democracy's not just dipping, it's shifting, sometimes towards strongmen who promise quick fixes. Let's zoom in Those 1.6 billion voters? They weren't gentle. Incumbents got a shellacking. CNN called it a bonfire of the incumbents. UK's Tories? Worst loss since 1832. South Africa's ANC? No majority since apartheid ended. Japan's LDP? Lost its lock after decades. Even Modi in India had to lean on buddies to govern. Why so brutal? It's not just economics, it's exhaustion. Scandals, COVID flops, immigration fights. People wanted change, any change. And when democracy feels stale, they'll roll the dice on outsiders, populists, anyone who's not them. But here's the flip. Some say democracy's still kicking. Senegal's election was a win against a wannabe dictator. Taiwan shrugged off China's threats, voted free. Mexico's ruling party held on Sheinbaum rode Obrador's coattails. Even where incumbents lost, votes happened. People spoke. The catch? Those wins don't erase the slide. The Democracy Index says only 6.6% of us live in full democracies, down from 12.5% a decade ago. 2 in 5 people? Authoritarian turf now. Elections aren't dead, but they're not the golden ticket they used to be. So what's the human cost? A lot. Think of a Detroit voter. Prices up, trust down, picks Trump hoping for a shakeup. A Seoul student protests Yoon, wants a voice. A Botswana farmer. New party, new shot at power. But when democracy wobbles, the vulnerable get hit, rights slip, courts bend, media gets gagged. V-Dem says 42 countries are autocratizing, up from 11 in 2003. That's not just numbers, that's lives. If this keeps up, 2025's elections, Canada, Germany, could be more of the same. Angry voters, shaky systems. Alright, big question. Is this a blip or a bust? Some say it's a cycle. Voters vent, systems adjust. Others? They're worried. Democracy's not bouncing back like it used to. The League of Nations flopped pre-World War II. Are we there again? Maybe not. But the signs aren't great. Civil liberties down a full point since 2008 per the index. Could a leaner democracy rise? More local? More scrappy? Or are we sliding towards strongmen and silence? This tinderbox is dry, and 2024 lit a match. Where it burns next is anyone's guess. Your turn. Let's spark this up. Is democracy declining after 2024, or just catching its breath? Hit the comments. Debate it with us. Team Hope. It's a rough patch. We'll rally. Team Doom. It's toast. Game over. We'll shout out the best takes next week. This isn't just geeky stats. It's the world we're living in. You're the heat that tips this tinderbox, so bring it. That's episode 5 of Tinderbox Talks, democracy's 2024 hangover, still pounding. If you're hooked on these global wildfires, smack that subscribe button. More's coming. Next week, we're tackling another hot mess, so don't miss it. Catch you in the comments. Keep this blaze roaring.